My dear child, there is something your soul has been quietly searching for. Not money, not success, not even happiness in the way the world defines it. What you have truly been searching for is rest, real rest, the kind that does not disappear when morning comes and the pressures of the day begin, the kind that stays with you even when everything around you feels uncertain and overwhelming. And today, in this moment, I want to offer you exactly that, not as a distant promise, not as something you have to earn or perform your way into, but as a gift, freely given, already paid for, waiting for you to simply open your hands and receive it. I want to talk to you about gratitude, not the kind that feels forced, not the kind you paste on your face when things are hard and someone tells you to just be thankful. I am talking about something far deeper and far more powerful. I am talking about the kind of gratitude that unlocks something in your spirit, that opens doors in your life that worry and striving could never push open. When you choose to be thankful, genuinely, sincerely, even in the middle of difficulty, something shifts, not just emotionally, spiritually. Something that was closed begins to open. Something that was tight begins to loosen. And blessings that were waiting on the other side of that door begin to flow into your life in ways you could not have manufactured on your own. Gratitude is not ignorance of your pain. It is the choice to let something bigger than your pain have the first word. It is the decision to look at your life and say, even here, even now, even in this, there is something worth being thankful for. And that choice, that single brave decision to choose thankfulness over bitterness, gratitude over grievance, is one of the most powerful spiritual acts you will ever perform. It tells your soul the truth. It reminds your heart that you are not alone. It invites my presence into the exact place where fear was trying to set up its home. So right now, in whatever stillness you can find, I want you to try something. Just pause, take one breath, and instead of listing everything that is wrong, list one thing, just one, that you are grateful for. One thing that carries even a trace of goodness. It might be small, it might feel insignificant compared to the weight of everything else, but offer it to me as a gift, because when you bring me your thanksgiving, I bring you my presence, and my presence changes everything. Now I want to speak to something that has been exhausting you, something you have been carrying so long that you may not even realize how heavy it has become. It is the feeling that you have to manage everything, that if you do not hold it all together, everything will fall apart, that the weight of your family, your finances, your future, your decisions, all sits on your shoulders, and your shoulders alone. And somewhere deep inside, there is a part of you that is absolutely worn out from carrying all of it. Child, that was never your load to carry. The anxiety you feel, the tension that lives in your chest, the way your mind races at night through every possible problem and outcome, that is what happens when a human being tries to do the job that only I was designed to do. You were not built to hold everything together. You were built to trust the one who does. And there is a freedom available to you right now that most people spend their entire lives searching for. The freedom of surrender. Not giving up, not defeat. Surrender. The kind that says, I trust you more than I trust my own ability to control this. Right now, in this moment, I want you to do something that feels counterintuitive, but is actually the wisest thing you will ever do. Give it back to me. Your day, give it to me. Your finances, hand them over. Your family, release them into my care. Your dreams, trust me with them. Not because I will do exactly what you imagine, but because I know the full picture when you can only see the part you are standing in. I know the path forward. I hold the outcome, and I am far more capable of carrying the weight of your life than you are. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. The person who surrenders control to me does not lose anything. They gain everything, starting with peace. The peace that passes understanding. The peace that does not make logical sense given the circumstances, but floods your heart anyway because you chose to trust someone who is actually trustworthy. Let go, right now. Breathe out the weight of trying to control what you were never meant to control, and breathe in the rest that comes from knowing your life is safe in my hands. I want to say something to you now that might feel uncomfortable, but is one of the most liberating truths I can offer you. You need me, not as a nice addition to your life, not as a backup plan for when things get hard. You need me the way your lungs need air, the way a plant needs sunlight. You were created with a need for my presence that nothing else in the universe can satisfy, and admitting that is not shameful. It is honest. And honesty is exactly where healing begins. For so long you have tried to be strong enough on your own. You have pushed through when you should have leaned. You have performed when you should have rested. You have kept going on your own strength, when my strength was available to you all along, unlimited, inexhaustible, freely given. And the result is that you are tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. Tired in your soul. Tired in the places no one else can see. So right now, I am not asking for your best. I am not waiting for you to pull yourself together. I am asking for your honesty. Just the simple, humble admission that you cannot do this alone, and you need me. That is all. That kind of honesty does not push me away. It draws me closer because I do not delight in your performance. I delight in your humility. The moment you stop pretending and start being real with me, something powerful is released. Not because you said the right words, but because you finally opened the door you had been keeping closed with your self-sufficiency. Walk through that door now. I am on the other side, and I have been waiting there longer than you know. If this message is reaching your heart, and you are finding something in these words that your soul has been hungry for, take a moment right now. Every time you do, you are saying yes to more of this, more truth, more peace, more of the conversations that remind you who you are and whose you are. You may not know how desperate they are for exactly these words, but I do. Now I want to talk to you about a name. Not just any name, the name that carries more power than any word ever spoken in any language in all of human history. The name of Jesus. I know that name may have been used in ways that felt cold or religious or distant to you, but strip away all the religion and all the ritual and all the performance, and what you are left with is this. That name is alive. That name carries authority. That name is not a symbol or a slogan. It is a covenant. It is the seal of everything I purchased for you, and it is available to you right now in this moment, in the middle of whatever you are facing. When the chaos in your mind gets loud, speak that name. When fear tries to settle into your chest, when the lies come, the ones that say you are not enough, that things will never change, that you are too far gone, speak that name because darkness does not negotiate with that name. It retreats. Every promise I have made, every blessing I have secured, every chain I have broken, all of it is accessed through that name. It is not magic, it is covenant. It is the agreement sealed in blood that says, you are mine, and what is mine is yours. Do not underestimate the authority you carry when you speak that name in faith. You are not a powerless person shouting into an empty sky. You are a child of the Most High God speaking a name that heaven recognizes and darkness fears. Use it. Use it today. Use it in your kitchen and your car and your workplace and your bedroom. Use it when you are strong, and use it especially when you are not. That name is your defense, your anchor, and your access to everything I have promised you. And if you want to understand the depth of what that name cost, close your eyes for a moment and picture the cross. Not as a religious symbol on a wall, but as a real moment in real time when love was poured out completely, held nothing back, and chose to bleed for you specifically. Not for a perfect version of you, for the real you, the struggling, imperfect, complicated, sometimes doubting real you. That image, that sacrifice, is the greatest proof that my love for you is not theoretical. It is not conditional. It is not going anywhere. Let that image burn away the cynicism and the self-pity and the doubt. Let it remind you that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, not abandoned. You are loved with the most fierce and permanent love that has ever existed. Now, I want to speak tenderly to something that has been holding many of you back from fully receiving everything I have for you. It is the fear of failure. The fear that you are not doing this right, that your prayers are not good enough, that you have missed too many mornings and stumbled too many times and let too many days go by without seeking me. And that fear has made you hesitant to come back, hesitant to believe I still want you, hesitant to try again, because part of you is waiting for me to say, enough, you had your chance. But child, that is not who I am. I do not condemn your failure. You are human, you stumble, you have seasons of consistency and seasons of wandering. And not once in any of those seasons have I stopped loving you. Not once have I crossed my arms and waited for you to earn your way back. My arms are not crossed, they are open. They have always been open. And when you stumble, not if, when, I do not want you to retreat into shame. I want you to run toward me. Because my presence is not a reward for your consistency. My presence is the very thing that creates your consistency. Stop measuring my love by the quality of your effort. My love for you was decided before the world began. It is not a response to your performance. It is a settled, permanent, unchangeable choice I made about you before you ever had the chance to succeed or fail. Whether today is a day of victory or a day of falling on your face, when you come to me in that moment of surrender, you are not trying to earn points, you are coming home. And home does not have a sign on the door that says you have to prove yourself before you enter. Home just says welcome, come in, rest. There is no expiration date on my invitation to you. The door is never locked, the light is always on. You have not wandered so far that you are beyond the reach of my love. You have not fallen so hard that my hands cannot reach down to where you are. You have not been silent so long that my ears have stopped listening for your voice. Come back now, not tomorrow, not after you fix yourself. Now, as you are, I am here, I have always been here. And my celebration when you return is louder than anything the world could ever offer you. Every morning is a fresh beginning. Every sunrise is my way of saying, yesterday is finished. Here is a new day. Here is a clean page. The mistakes of yesterday are covered. The failures of last week are gone. The guilt you have been carrying from last year, you do not need to carry it anymore. That is what new mercies mean. Not that I sweep things under a rug, but that the blood of my Son has already dealt with everything permanently and completely. And every morning I set before you a fresh day, a new canvas, an unwritten chapter. Do not drag yesterday's weight into today's grace. Start fresh right now. This moment is a new beginning. And if you have been far away, if the world pulled you in a direction that took you far from me, if the pursuits of life slowly crowded me out until our communion became a distant memory, I want you to know that I have been watching for you the whole time. Not with anger, not with a list of grievances, but with longing. And the moment I see you turning, the very first moment your heart shifts toward me, I do not wait for you to arrive. I run. I run toward you with arms open and a heart so full of welcome that there is no room in it for condemnation. You do not need to clean yourself up before you come home. You do not need to have a speech prepared. You do not need to explain every wrong turn or justify every decision. Just take one step toward me, just one. That one step, that one moment of surrender, is all I need to start the process of restoring everything that was lost. I do not bring up your past when you return. I celebrate your return. The robe, the ring, the feast, everything that belongs to a beloved child is already prepared and waiting for you. Come home. Your celebration is already planned. Let me tell you, I know what it is. I designed you that way on purpose. You were not made to walk this road alone. You were made for community, for belonging, for the deep and beautiful experience of being known and supported and loved by people who care for you. And I want to speak to those of you who have been trying to do this alone, who have been sitting in the quiet of your own struggle, convinced that your situation is too complicated. The enemy loves to isolate you. He knows that a person alone is far more vulnerable than a person surrounded by genuine community. He whispers that your struggles are too unique, too shameful, too much for others to handle, and so you stay quiet. You smile at the right times. You say you are fine, and inside, you carry a weight that was never meant to be carried alone. I designed you to need people. I designed community not as an optional extra, but as an essential part of how you grow, heal, and thrive. Find your people, not perfect people. Real people who are also on the journey, who are also learning to trust, who are also showing up imperfectly and trying again. When believers gather together in genuine love and shared purpose, something supernatural happens. A strength is released that none of them could have produced individually. Burdens that felt crushing become manageable when they are shared. Faith that was flickering catches fire when it is surrounded by the faith of others. And the enemy, who was so comfortable operating in your isolation, finds himself deeply unwelcome in the presence of genuine unity. And within that community, I want you to learn to pray for one another, not just for yourself, not just for your own needs and your own circumstances. Lift your eyes and see the people around you who are struggling. Intercede for them. Carry their burdens in prayer, even when they have not asked you to. Because when you pray for someone else, something beautiful happens inside you as well. Your own worries become lighter. Your own perspective shifts. And you begin to experience the profound truth that the generous heart is always the one that overflows with what it gives away. And I promise you, I see every act of faith, every generous offering given from a sincere heart, and I honor it with the faithfulness of a God who never forgets and never fails. Your seed has eternal roots. Now, I want to talk to you about the power of my word, not as a book you feel guilty for not reading enough, not as a set of rules designed to make you feel inadequate, but as a living, breathing, active voice that speaks directly into your specific situation with the exact truth you need at the exact moment you need it. My word is not an ancient text that has no relevance to your Tuesday afternoon. It is alive. It is sharper than any blade. It cuts through confusion and reaches the exact place in your soul that needs to be reached. When you are walking through darkness, when the path forward is unclear and you cannot see more than one step ahead, my word is the lamp for that one step, not the whole road, not the full picture, just the next step, and that is enough. That is always enough, because I am not asking you to run into a future you cannot see. I am asking you to trust me with the step in front of you, and then the next one, and then the one after that. And my word gives you the light for each step as you take it. Learn to use my word as your weapon, not defensively, cowering behind it, but offensively, wielding it with confidence against every lie the enemy tries to plant in your mind. When fear says you will not make it, find the promise that says, I will never leave you or forsake you, and speak it out loud. When shame says you are unworthy, find the truth that says you are a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come, and declare it over yourself. When anxiety tries to flood your mind, find the verse that says, my peace guards your heart and mind, and let it wash over the anxiety. Your mouth is a powerful instrument. What you speak matters. What you declare over your own life, over your family, over your circumstances, it matters. So learn to speak my word, not because the words themselves are magic, but because my word is the expression of my character, my promises, and my covenant with you. And when you speak it in faith, you are aligning your voice with mine. You are saying what I say, and there is power in that alignment that goes far beyond what your natural mind can comprehend. I want to speak now about something that I believe will change the way you experience each day. I want to talk about solitude, about the discipline of creating real, deliberate quietness in your life. I modeled this for you when I walked the earth. Over and over, in the middle of ministry and miracle and crowds and demands, I withdrew. I went to the quiet places, the mountains, the wilderness, the early morning hours before anyone else was awake, not because I needed to escape people, but because I needed to return to the source. I needed to commune with the Father in the stillness where His voice could be heard clearly. If I needed that, and I did, then you certainly do too. The world you live in is noisier than any generation that has come before you. Your phone buzzes and dings and pulls at your attention from the moment you wake up. Your mind is bombarded with news and opinions and comparisons and demands before you have even taken your first cup of coffee. And in all that noise, my voice, the one voice that speaks truth and peace and direction, gets harder and harder to hear, not because I stopped speaking, but because the noise got so loud. Solitude is not isolation. It is not loneliness. It is the intentional, deliberate choice to create space where my voice can find you without competition. It is the discipline of saying to the world, not right now. Right now, I am making room for something more important. And in that space, in that sacred quiet, I am able to minister to you in ways that the noise of life prevents. I can show you things, heal things, speak things over you that you needed to hear but could not hear through the chaos. In the quiet, your own heart becomes visible to you too. The anxieties you have been numbing with busyness, the wounds you have been avoiding with distraction, the fears you have been outrunning with activity, they surface in the stillness, and that can feel uncomfortable at first. But do not run from it. Bring all of it into my light, because whatever surfaces in the quiet, I can handle it. I have handled it. And I want to meet you there with healing that goes to the root, not just the surface. Find the quiet, even 5 minutes, even just the drive to work with no music and no podcast, just stillness and breath and an open heart. Even 1 moment before you reach for your phone in the morning, where you simply acknowledge my presence. These are not small things. These are the moments where everything begins to shift. I want to speak now about your work, your daily life, the ordinary, sometimes repetitive, often demanding rhythm of your days. Your work is not separate from your faith. It is one of the primary places where your faith is meant to be expressed. When you show up to your job with integrity, when you do your work with genuine excellence, not to impress your boss, but as an offering to me, you are worshiping. When you treat people with kindness and respect in environments where that is not the norm, you are carrying my presence into places that desperately need it. When you stand firm in your values under pressure, when you refuse to compromise your honesty for the sake of short-term gain, you are demonstrating the reality of my presence in a language that requires no words. Let your work be an offering, not because every moment of it will feel sacred, not because it will always be easy or enjoyable, but because you can choose to do it in a spirit of devotion rather than mere obligation. Dedicate the work of your hands to me. Ask me to bless your efforts. Pray over your workspace, your projects, your relationships with colleagues. Invite my presence into every part of your day, not just the Sunday morning part, because I did not come to occupy one day a week. I came to inhabit a life. Now I want to look with you at something glorious, something that changes the way you see everything you are going through right now. I want to shift your perspective from the immediate to the eternal, because so much of what exhausts and discourages us is a perspective problem. We are looking at the painting from 2 inches away, and all we can see is the rough brushstrokes and the messy sections. But I am looking at the whole canvas. I see the complete picture, and what I see is breathtaking. The difficulties you are facing right now, the pressure, the waiting, the uncertainty, the pain, they are real. I am not minimizing them. But in the context of eternity, they are light and momentary, not because they do not hurt, but because they do not last. And what they are producing in you, the depth of character, the strength of faith, the capacity for compassion that only comes through difficulty, that does not just last, it is eternal. It is the treasure that you are laying up right now through every day you choose to trust me in the middle of what you cannot understand. Every moment of faithful devotion is a deposit into an account that does not lose value, does not fluctuate with the market, does not disappear with changing circumstances. Every act of love, every sacrifice made in faith, every moment of worship offered from a heart that was hurting but still chose to trust, these are eternal. They are seen, they are remembered, and they will be rewarded in ways that will make every hard season feel, in retrospect, worth it. So endure, not with gritted teeth and white knuckles, but with hope. Real, anchored, unshakable hope that says, I cannot see the end of this yet, but I know who holds the end, and that is enough, because I am enough, and I am for you, not against you. And the story I am writing with your life, the full, complete, eternal story, is far more beautiful than anything you could have written for yourself. Let me now speak to the deepest question that lives in your heart, not the questions you ask out loud, but the one underneath all the other ones, the one that surfaces in the quiet moments and sometimes in the middle of the night. Am I truly loved? Not generally, not as part of a group or a congregation or humanity as a whole, but me, specifically, personally, individually. Am I truly, deeply, unconditionally loved? Yes. The answer is yes, and it is not a polite yes or a theological yes. It is a yes that was proven on a cross, a yes that was written in blood, a yes that echoed through an empty tomb on a Sunday morning, a yes that is still being spoken over you right now in this moment as you sit and read these words. You are loved. You have always been loved. You will always be loved, not because of anything you have done or will do, not because you are always consistent or always faithful or always strong, but because I decided to love you before you ever existed, and that decision has never and will never change. You are not a burden to me. You are a delight. You are not a disappointment. You are the joy that was set before me. You are not someone I merely tolerate while waiting for better people to come along. You are the one I chose, the one I came for, the one I died for, the one I rose for, and the one I am coming back for. So, walk in that, not perfectly. You will have days when you forget it, days when the voices get loud and the truth feels distant. But come back to it. Come back to this truth. This love is your home, and you are always welcome here. Now, as we come toward the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with something practical, something simple, something you can do right now today in the middle of your real and ordinary life. I want to invite you into just 1 minute, not an hour of eloquent prayer, not a perfect morning routine, not a list of spiritual disciplines that make you feel guilty when you miss them. Just 1 minute, one deliberate, intentional, distraction-free minute of turning your full attention toward me. Set a timer if you need to. Put your phone face down, take one breath, And in that minute, just be present with me. You can pray, you can be silent. You can simply say, "Here I am yours, I need you." That is enough. That is more than enough. Because in that 1 minute of genuine surrender, I show up, not eventually, immediately, not partially, fully. My presence floods the space you create for it. My peace enters the room you invite it into. My voice speaks in the stillness you choose to protect. And if you do it tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that, that 1 minute becomes the axis around which your whole day turns, the foundation from which everything else is built, the source from which everything else flows. It changes the way you speak to your family. It changes the way you respond under pressure. It changes the way you see the people around you who are struggling. It changes everything, not because of the minute itself, but because of who meets you in it. 1 minute. That is where transformation begins. Not in a grand, dramatic moment, but in a quiet, consistent, faithful, daily choice to turn toward me. Will you make that choice today? Not tomorrow, not after you feel more ready. Today, right now. I am already here, I have been here, and I am not going anywhere. My dear child, as we close today, I want to say one more thing to you. Something I want you to carry with you, long after this video ends, and the screen goes dark, and the ordinary rush of life begins again. You are not on this journey alone. You have never been alone. In every season, the bright ones and the dark ones, the seasons of faith and the seasons of doubt, the days you felt close to me and the days when I felt impossibly distant, I have been there, present, constant, faithful, watching over you with the kind of love that does not waver based on your performance or your consistency or your deserving. And I will continue to be there every morning that comes after this one, every challenge that arises, every moment of uncertainty, every night that stretches long and quiet. I will be there, not as a distant concept, not as a theological idea, but as a present, living, personal God who knows your name, holds your future, and loves you with a love that is simply too big and too permanent to ever run out. So go now, go back into your day, but go differently. Go as someone who is known, go as someone who is loved, go as someone who is never alone. Go as someone who carries an invitation to return anytime, without shame, without performance, without anything except an open heart. The door is always open, the light is always on, and I will always be here, waiting with joy and welcome every single time you come. You are my beloved child, now and always, and that will never, ever change.